the slightest doubt is not permitted as to the brilliance of your performance.
Thank you very much.
Nevertheless, I went to great length of efforts, and I hope to have found a few inadequate things. I didn't try to find them just for my own pleasure, far from it, but I hope they will be helpful to you. First of all, the rhythm. I would like you, each time you start your dreaded octaves, I would like you to take the tempo of the orchestra, of the conductor. And therefore I will have to ask the conductor, in this case, Mr. Isadore, not to retard the end of the tutti.
Is that in the very opening?
Yes, the very opening. And if referring to the full score, after letter B, and then just before letter F, letter B is here, according to the... Now, could we have it straight away? I think it's vital. It's the first contact of the soloist with his listeners. It's rather deadly, shall we say, or isn't it? Clean, but they were somewhat rushed. Let's see what I can show you, but I really have in mind, and I'm not sure I shall be able to do so. The spot is rather deadly. First of all, my advice to you would be not to play so close to the point. Try to understand your listener. Your listener cannot possibly be aware of all the difficulties you have to fight at past, present, and future time. But the listener might be disappointed if he sees that you are using very little bow. I shall try to imitate you mercilessly. I would rather have you play a few notes out of tune. But don't give the listener the impression that you are scared. Be scared, but don't let it show. And this is the best advice I've given so far to anybody since we started this series of classes. Don't make it known. These are your... right. And I will ask you to read them aloud. But first of all, the beginning, the very beginning. Away my observations. Why don't you read them aloud? Rhythm.
No, the quaver.
Rhythm.
Two semi-quavers.
Yes. I thought that there was a false accent. You played. I know you didn't intend to, but the bowing didn't favor your intentions. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Does anybody notice my fingering in this triplet? It's 1, 3, 2, 3.
Three.
I didn't invent this fingering. Mr. Chrysler gave it to me. 1, 3, 2, 3. The two semiquavers were not entirely in keeping with the quavers. And this is a great problem. Very difficult. Right. So in general, too much point. Let's go on. These octaves were very good. What I was missing was the theme. This you can achieve by giving more emphasis to one of the voices. Now, which would that be? The high voice or the lower voice?
The lower one.
Indeed, the lower one. Don't try to be musical by slowing down here. This passage is intended to be effective, and Beethoven was known to be a very great piano virtuoso. So don't yield to remorse which is not in keeping with the style. After this,
This was very good.
however, simplicity. You see, many a violinist with the best intentions feels that the three bars we are allowed of the incredible theme, we must concentrate so hard on it that finally they backfire. Why don't you play them just as they come? Their beauty is so great. Just don't be too self-conscious. And then, from the major to the minor, there is a bridge. Don't make it a gap. Yesterday, I told a friend of mine that one of my main tasks in life was bridging gaps. Why don't you try to imitate? Simple. see, I would like you to acquire this serenity, which is the true symptom of the mature artist. I felt that there was too much excitement here between the major and the minor. You played just one line, just one line. Trying to perform. However, the intention is very good. Did you notice that I do make a difference between the diminished seventh chord and the second? Which of the two chords would be softer? Which of the two chords would be harder?
The second would be harder. No, the other way down.
Mr. Isidore, may I ask you? You see, it's very simple. It's like a resolution, yes. Now, keep this in my hand. Keep on reading.
Please.
Your own condemnation.
Please.
Yes. I have a definite reservation as to your détaché. Your détaché is brilliant, it's good, obviously, but I think that could be much better. You are using your elbow, and it seems that your effort is far too great. This is what I thought you were doing. Not trying to be funny. Far from it. It's purely anatomical affair. Why don't you try to use your wrist with your forearm, and therefore your shoulder will be able to rest. Look, at the point, if I go from the G to the A string, the angle is indeed. If I do the same in the middle of the bow, the angle is much smaller. There we are. So, look. Your throw was excellent. Each time. Sorry, Claire. Your arabesque was slightly rigid. Don't make it. Would you give it this beautiful character of improvisation? This is very well said. I'm just trying to show you the way to do better by doing it, to do better by it.